right. Welcome to Social Proof, a podcast with Soapbox Influence. We're thrilled to have Bethany and Amanda from Whoa Wait Walmart here today, along with Shaw. Hey, Shaw.
Hello.
Bethany, Amanda, thank you guys so much for joining us. We've got one of you physically here, which is fun, and the other, virtually here. So maybe you guys could kick it off and tell us a little bit about who you are, where you live, and what you do.
Sure. So I'm Bethany, and I live in Bentonville, Arkansas. And Amanda and I are the best friends behind the Instagram account Whoa Wait Walmart, and we basically share lots of fun products that Walmart has to offer. We also have a magazine in all Walmart stores across the country. It is called Whoa Wait, and we share even more fun things from Walmart.
I love it. And Amanda, you are tragically not here in Bentonville with us. Where are you?
I am in Nashville, Tennessee,
Oh,
and yes, I really, really wish I were there. I miss traveling to Bentonville so much. I love coming there.
well,
Yeah, I'm in
we
Nashville.
miss having you as well. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about how you two met. Where did your friendship start and all of those things?
Sure. So we went to the same university in Arkansas, went to Harding, and I am 4 years older than Bethany, so our time there did not overlap, but we had a ton of mutual friends. My husband and her husband were very close friends and roommates for a time, and I was good friends with her husband in college. I was friends with her sister. And yeah, we just kept having tons of people say, "You guys should meet each other," or "You remind me of Bethany," or,
Mhm.
vice versa. And so when we met, we were very fast
I
friends.
love that. I feel like you guys, I'm on this like perimeter of your friend circle. So as you're describing, I'm always like, oh, I know which sibling that is. But then it's like playing a genealogy game, trying to piece it together.
It also
So,
sounds like emotional or something.
oh,
Well, like I know
absolutely.
this person that knows this person that like all connects.
Yeah.
For sure.
So tell us how Whoa Wait came to be out of this friendship. How was this born?
So I grew up in Bentonville, and my mother was a buyer at the home office for Walmart most of my life, and I am a lifelong Walmart shopper. And growing up, it was a little bit begrudgingly, but I reached a point where it was more like bragging rights. I was like, no, look at this amazing thing you can find at Walmart and not spend a lot of money.
Right.
Um, so Amanda and I were actually on a play date with our kids in Nashville. I lived in Nashville for 7 years, and I had found a pair of leather sandals at Walmart that were super cute. And I was telling her about these sandals, and she said, we should start sharing Walmart finds on Instagram or something like that. And I said, well, I kind of already started on my personal blog, but I was thinking about letting it stand alone. Do you want to do it with me? And she said yes.
Not
Yes. Yeah. Amanda likes to call us style soulmates, which is true.
I love that. And it's so interesting as well because I feel like, and just kind of growing with you guys, because we knew each other in some of your early blogging days, I feel like this has really evolved, right? From an Instagram account to like this cult following across all of these platforms, which is kind of why we have you on Social Proof today to talk about that idea of having influence. So maybe you guys can talk a little bit. Amanda, I'll start with you about how it's evolved from an Instagram account to, this, you're like an omnimedia presence today.
Yeah, well, thank you for speaking about it in such kind words. I think
An
sometimes
empire.
it's hard to hear about.
An
I'm sorry.
empire. You're a virtual empire today.
Ah, well, that's very kind. It's interesting to hear it put into that perspective because I think for Bethany and I, we're so close to it, and we always just have our heads down and we're working so hard. So I kind of forget sometimes, like, oh, okay, some people could classify it as an empire. Um, so yeah, I think that as far as the evolution goes, years before Instagram even existed, Bethany and I had talked about having a business together. And at that time, we were actually quite focused on the idea of having a product line in Walmart. And so when we first started the Instagram account, at that time, nobody was selling ads on Instagram or anything. It was just, it was the very early days of Instagram. And even though we had no idea and no way to guess what, this could turn into, we did think, I don't know what it's going to be, but maybe this is the thing that gets us into Walmart or, brings about a business or something. So um, we could have never seen it coming in the way that it did. But from the very beginning, we were focused on making this into something. And so as we've worked from the very beginning, like I said, we've kept our head down and just shown up every day. And because of that, I feel like we've gotten a lot of these opportunities that came our way. And not only did opportunities come our way, but we accepted them and ran with them. Um, if that makes any sense at all. Would you add anything to that, Bethany?
No, not really. I mean, she's right. That's what happened.
During that description, I promise I'm going to let Char ask questions, but you two are two of the hardest workers I know. So I love, that you don't shy away from that, or make this into unicorns and rainbows. Cause I know It's been a super long slog and hard hustle. I mean, can you speak to that? And what do you say yes to? And, what opportunities do you walk away from?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that Amanda and I have tried really hard to do throughout this whole process, and we've been doing this for, I guess, 8 years in June. Is that right, Amanda?
Yeah.
I said 7 for so long. I'm like, wait, I feel like we're taking over to the 8-year mark. So
7.5.
Yeah. So almost 8 years in June, we've been doing this, and we have, all of these opportunities that come our way, like Amanda referenced. We have an opportunity in each situation to say, will this serve us and our business and our families, or will it not? And so, right down to every email we get about product partnerships, we are very intentional about saying yes to the appropriate things and no to the things that aren't a good fit, that feel like a little bit of a stretch for us as far as authenticity goes. So I feel like we've valued that, and we've kind of hung on to that pretty well over the past almost 8 years.
Yeah, it comes across.
Yeah, you guys have done so good. I mean, when you just look at your feed, like, it's consistent, and that authenticity really does show. I feel like that's huge and hard to do now. As you were saying, like, Amanda, of just like Instagram used to be not promotions and ads and like partnerships, and like you were just able to add a photo of, a new bowl you saw at Walmart. People are like, oh, it's awesome. Yeah. But now it's like, how do you integrate it? I feel like we've been learning that with just paid media and how to make it look like true storytelling. That's one of our big things.
It is. Yeah. And I would actually love to hear advice from you two, because as you know, we have this, community of influencers. It's about 7,000 across the US who we work with through Soapbox. And I came up in this space too. I always say I'm a decrepit, like aged out influencer. I'm now on the agency side because I can't influence anymore. But we are constantly, reminding them to, stick with their true voice, get behind the brands that are really representative of them and their values and their lifestyle. And, don't say yes just to say yes, because it can be so intoxicating, when you're starting to get traction and opportunities are coming your way. And you just want to say yes because it's, I don't know, free product or cash or opportunity. And so what advice do you two have? Maybe start with you, Amanda, on, navigating that so that you can, play your end game, play your long game.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, on a very basic level, I would say when you are approached by brands, if you truly like the product or you think you're going to like it, then say yes, obviously. And if you don't, it's hard, but say no. I mean, walk away from it. It just is not worth. It's not worth the compromise of your brand or your aesthetic just to get XYZ. And if you, so that, and that, I feel like that's easy for us to say at this point because we do have a lot of brands contacting us. So it is easier for us to say, nah, we don't, no, we don't want to do that. So I understand that for some people, every brand that could put food on their table. So I understand that. But I would say to those people, if you're only getting approached by brands that you don't like, then make a list of your brands that you do like and reach out to them and say, I use your product. I love it. I want to talk about it. Do you want to pay me to talk about it?
Absolutely.
I can genuinely speak to this. So there definitely was a time where Bethany and I would sit down and say, okay, let's think through beauty brands that we already use. Let's reach out to the ones that we use, or food brands or whatever. So we have been in a position early on where we were the ones reaching out. And that's what I would say to do. Say no to the ones that don't work for you and seek out the ones that do.
I love that. I mean, that's a business development mentality, essentially, which is, you all are building and have built a business. And I think sometimes we talk a lot about the influencer industry, kind of gets a bad rap as just being this, materialistic and very shallow kind of world. But there is so much depth to it. And I think when you apply that sort of business sense to what you're doing, it goes a long way. So,
Yeah.
Gosh, I feel like I'm like stirring with so many questions right now. I feel like I have to start with one. How did you guys come up with the name? I mean, it's very like rolls off the tongue, but who came up with it?
I did. I'm a big fan of alliteration, and so my husband and I were sitting in the car, and it was when I had started my personal blog, and I was doing a regular feature about Walmart products, and it was born out of the genuine reaction that I would get from friends when I said, when they complimented me on something in my home or something I was wearing, and they were like, and I said it was from Walmart, and they were like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, and so that's kind of where it was born out of.
That's what I figured, because that's what I do. But I was like, I feel like also I wanted to ask, like, okay, working hand in hand with like your best friend and just like that relationship side, like what does that look like? Of what are you guys' different roles? Like who is kind of more the like, let's get it done? Who kind of leans into the creative side? Like,
man, I mean, we both do so much of it, and Amanda and I are so similar. We definitely have different strengths for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's just tricky to like map it all out really, because it is so like we share one email account.
Yes.
And we like take turns responding kind of, or kind of own a thread.
Right.
What would you say, Amanda?
Yeah, I mean, I think we really share the workload so well and evenly, I feel like. And we're also both really good about saying like, hey, why don't you take this week off of emails, or she'll say that to me, and like just to kind of, give each other breaks that we see the other one needs, or that sort of thing. I know that it is hard for most people to work with their best friend. I would not recommend to just anyone like go work with your best friend, but it works so amazingly for us. Like I almost feel bad saying that, but we're just so fortunate. I can't, I'm so grateful for her. I know she's grateful for me. Like we just work really well together. And I don't know what the secret to that is other than
A good match.
we really love each other, I guess.
I think a big part of it is that we're both such hard workers, and we always have been, even long before we worked together on this. And the other thing is, Amanda and I have honest conversations with each other about, in a kind way, but about how we're feeling and what's going on and that kind of stuff, and break it down. We don't bury all of that inside, so it just festers.
Right. That's probably a little
Never
bit
good.
smart.
Yeah.
I've always noticed that about you too. You really do. It's just astonishing from the outside because we encounter so many, I think, just duos and businesses and like husband and wife teams. We had the CEO of Cauliflower and her husband on last week, and I love unpacking that dynamic and seeing what makes a duo, able to thrive together in business, especially in the world of social and influencer and marketing. So it's just fun to hear that from you guys. What does your day look like for each of you? How similar are you? What's your work style? Who's an early bird? Who's a night owl? Amanda, maybe tell us what your day looks like on average.
Yeah, so my kids are doing virtual school, so we don't like have to jump out of bed and get ready quickly to get out of the door. And my kids are at an age where they're sleeping a little bit later, so we are not early birds. But yeah, get up with the kids, help get them breakfast and get them started with school, and then after that, I kind of head down to my office and start looking through emails, looking at the calendar, seeing, what's on my plate for the day. Um, and yeah, I don't know, it's kind of boring, but Bethany and I text all day, basically, or call real quick. Yeah, so we talk a lot to each other. But yeah, I mean, I try to get all of my work stuff done while the kids are doing their school stuff so that I can be more present with them out, when they're done. So yeah, what about you? I'm the night owl. I'll let Bethany take it from here.
I'm the early bird.
Us.
I could not sleep in if you paid me to. So my girls are going to school in person, and so we have to get up so early. It's so painful. But we get up early. We take the girls to school. We come back. We usually drink our coffee for a little bit. Then we do a little home workout as our new routine.
Yes.
And then I usually get ready for the day at that point, and then jump on the computer and start checking out emails or prep for a call or all of that nonsense.
Yeah.
But again, it's just there's this tricky balance. I feel like between trying to get it all done while the girls are at school and then also feeling like I need to sneak a few hours in the evening to finish up. I've been trying to be better about just flagging the things and coming back to them early in the morning since there's not as much in the morning. I think it all comes in the afternoon.
That's funny.
Of course.
I love that. And when you say you mean Adam, your husband, because he's part of the business as well. Is that right for both of you, or?
In some capacity, yes.
Okay.
Adam kind of helps me on my end, and I think Stephen probably does a lot of the same with Amanda on her end. So yeah, Adam's at home with me, helping me out as needed.
Yeah. Well, let's dig into the workout because we talk a lot. Really, we talk a lot about wellness. We care a lot at Soapbox about how we take care of our people and how we take care of ourselves. And I think we're finding that the more we do of the latter, the more the business thrives. So I'm curious how you take care of yourself, like, beyond just the workout, but what does wellness look like in your life?
Yeah. So for me, it looks like being careful of what I'm eating. And I don't say that in like a restrictive way. I have a gluten sensitivity, so I try to watch that just so I don't feel terrible all the time. But one of my favorite things having to do with workout is I started a little more strength training over the past maybe 3 months, and I'm loving it. And I never thought I was that person, and so it was kind of a surprise.
Same.
It was kind of a surprise, and I love how strong I feel just to go about my day. But like in everyday movements, I just feel so much stronger.
That's awesome.
I love
Are you
that.
doing weights?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Amazing.
we have some weights in our house.
You're
It's
like,
very
I don't even know
strange.
who I am. Yeah. That's so great. What about you, Amanda?
Well,
I don't value.
I am not very. I'm
I
sorry.
was
What?
teasing you.
I am not consistent with my workouts, sadly. My husband and I have a Peloton bike, and I really love it. I really do. When I do it, I'm like, this is awesome. But it's like getting on it is, I don't know why. That's just so hard for me. Um, but I mean, I probably do I ride it like a couple times a week, but I really have got to get that up. Not for like weight loss or anything. I really do feel better when I am doing it. So anyway, it's
For real.
That's my thing, but I need to make it more of my thing.
I love that.
That's great.
Yeah.
You guys did a great job being on brand today. Like, I love that you're both in leopard. This is awesome.
Incredible.
Does this happen regularly?
And we love it.
Yes.
Sometimes I feel like Amanda, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like Amanda has said before, like, don't tell me what you're wearing just in case, like, we accidentally wear the same thing.
Yes. That's amazing.
It's more fun that way.
Seriously. Okay, so we have some, I don't want to call them rapid fire questions for you, but some things that we like to kind of consistently ask everyone. It's just so fun to compare and contrast. So I'm curious, what did each of you want to be when you grew up? Amanda?
When I was young, I wanted to be work in fashion / interiors.
Check.
Check.
That's
You're in
amazing.
the interior.
Yeah. Fanned out.
What about you, Bethany?
Well, what age are we talking? Because
I mean,
middle
tell-
school
tell
Bethany,
us
like
all.
everybody, Lisa Frank made middle school Bethany want to be a marine biologist.
That's
but
amazing.
I mean, in high school is when I decided that I wanted to be in fashion.
Love that.
And I thought I wanted to be a buyer, but then I found out about retail math and I was like, oh, no. Mm-mm. No, thank you.
Creative brain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, no, I want to pick out the thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to do
Not
math.
track them. Yeah.
So I did product development for a little while.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
product development would be just intriguing, I think.
It was super fun.
My sister is a merchant, and she was actually messaging me today about an idea she has that she wants to bring to life. And I was laughing because our jobs don't really overlap that much. So I'm like, oh, you're doing a creative thing. And so I'm on the line. She's not every day like with her predictions, like, we should really discuss this. I need your input. So it's kind of fun to see that come to life.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about, I think just values. We kind of hit on this a little bit earlier, but what are some of the non-negotiables for you all in your business? Maybe just beyond what you say yes to and what you walk away from. Do you have any kind of value system between the two of you, or again, non-negotiables within your business?
I mean, I can start. Bethany, do you want me to start or do you
Yeah,
want
you
to?
go.
Okay, I was just going to say a very simple one is we'll say our moms and mom-in-laws will see this. Is it appropriate for them? And if it's not, then we're not going to do it. we don't want to disappoint them or hurt their feelings, so it's not worth it. That's one little thing. And then of course there's Jesus. After our moms and mother-in-laws. No, I'm kidding.
That's good. You got very much that.
No,
on the shoulder.
Right. So yeah, I mean, we are believers, and so that kind of dictates our whole lives. So of course we're taking things into account there. So we always want to be kind and compassionate and thoughtful and respectful, and yeah.
I love it.
That really comes across in talking with you guys. I think just the way that you value, simply kindness and the tone you take and the way you interact with people. So what else? Anything you'd add?
Yeah, I think I touched on this earlier a little bit, but for me, and I like to think that I also have this voice for Amanda and her family just because I care about them,
Right.
is every opportunity that comes up, like, is this going to serve our families well? Because if at the end of the day, if our business is not serving our families well, then what are we doing? What's the point of all of this? If we could just go work a typical 8 to 5 job in an office somewhere and earn an income that would support our families, that's fine. Then we should just do that if the business isn't serving our families well.
Right.
Does it give us a better, family life? Does it give us more time to be with our kids and be the kind of moms we want to be and that sort of thing, the wives we want to be, the friends we want to be. So that's kind of what I weigh every decision with, like, is this still serving our families well?
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
that. And just being like a good steward of your time. I was just sitting here, I'm like, how often do you guys go to Walmart?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
I think our audience go in Walmart like every single day, which is so funny because I was a teacher for a few years, and my kindergartners one year I did a job share, so I had a teaching partner, and our kindergarten class thought that we lived together, and like whatever you see
Right,
is
the
your world.
perception.
That's
Yeah.
your
Right.
frame of
Yes.
reference. You
Yes.
know, they're like,
Like
no,
you
you're
live in Walmart. Yeah.
right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, I went much more often before the pandemic. Now I probably go once every 2 weeks just for this. You know, some obviously we're popping in to get groceries and stuff
Sure.
like that.
Right.
but-
Also that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Living.
But those trips for me most of the time have to be separate because I can't be letting my frozen stuff go thaw in the cart while I'm getting posts. You know?
That's great. What about Amanda? Have you guys leaned in at all to like Walmart's online pickup and delivery and Walmart.com? I mean, especially during the pandemic, have you, tried to depict that more? Or are you sticking with the in-person trips?
Early on, we were for sure promoting that, and not promoting that in it like being paid. We were just saying like, guys, go do grocery pickup. Like you don't even have to go in. It's so easy. I mean, you should do it all the time, but especially like during the pandemic. So we definitely talked about that more. I'd say back in March and April of last year. But yeah, I mean, I used Walmart grocery pickup just simply for the convenience of it. I really love it. And then, yeah, I mean, as far we're still posting stuff that you can find in the store. We just feel like that's more compelling. But we definitely, look for those items online to give people the option, and we'll have, provide a link just so that they can find it. In that capacity
Yeah,
as
that makes
well.
so much sense because I think there's such an element of the treasure hunt to everything that you all have built, which is naturally, that happens in the physical store. But do you all have Walmart Plus? I'm curious.
I don't. My husband and I have been talking about it a lot lately. Like, should we go ahead and get it and try it out? I don't know. Maybe.
What about you, Amanda? Have you tried it?
Yeah, same. I don't have it. And Stephen and I were just talking about it like 2 days ago. We're like, I don't even know that much about it. So I need to do it and see if it's
Normally, I
worth it.
probably wouldn't share all of that and turn this into a complete Walmart commercial, but we are speaking with Whoa. So as a mom, I have to say, and it's so funny, I always think about, I met you originally in that kindergarten job when my now 17-year-old was little bitty
so weird.
at Tillery. Oh my gosh. But Walmart Plus is amazing. Just speaking as a mom, I mean, the fuel prices are kind of neat. That's not necessarily the most compelling, but I'm telling you guys that the delivery, like same day delivery and some of the, it's been pretty neat. So I had to try it, obviously, I think kind of in the world that we're in. But
yeah, I need to do it. I mean, Amanda and I, obviously.
Yeah,
yes,
let's do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
We'll get right on it.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Influence.
This week.
Yeah. You're not, you have not,
You
did it.
Influence.
No, she's always influencing.
It's true. I'm incessant. It's what you're just saying nicely.
I don't know.
So I'm curious, who influences you all? Is there an account that you enjoy following just personally, not even business related or business related, but who are some accounts that you like to follow or influencers who you maybe like to keep up with in your personal or professional life? Amanda? I said Amanda and looked at Bethany, but
It's
Bethany.
okay. It's like a
I know.
situation. You just answered to both names.
Exactly.
Let's see. I really love A Beautiful Mess, of course,
yes.
and Elsie Larson and
Yes,
Emma.
they're amazing.
So I follow all three of those accounts, and I loved them. I forever will love them. They were like the only blog I ever read. Really, I'm not a blog reader.
Okay.
But recently I started following this lady. Her name, she's at Sharon Says So. Have you guys heard about this?
No, tell
She's
us.
a former government teacher.
Okay.
And she just gives you unbiased facts about current events. And it is,
wow.
I've learned so much.
Oh,
It's
I need that.
amazing.
That's
It's
amazing.
That's my
amazing.
We'll link
dream.
it in the show notes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
She is so like witty and cute and funny, but like also so factual and just knows her stuff and is sharing her gifting with the world, and I'm obsessed.
That's
currently.
That's what we need right now.
Yeah.
we
It's been
the
really
news of
great. Yeah.
the world.
Yes.
She
No
just
kidding.
lays it like it is, says like facts are not up for argument. Like you can't argue with fact, you
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
And it's really nice.
It is what it is.
I love
Sharon
that.
says it. So. Amanda, what about you? Who influences you?
Well, Bethany influenced me to follow Sharon
There you
Soso.
go.
I've been doing my
So,
part, guys.
you're influenced by Bethany.
Yeah,
Anyone
I
else?
mean, there's this girl that I follow for parenting advice, and her name is Dr. Becky at Home, and she's so great. I just love the things that the tips that she gives, and the way she delivers it. Like she does these little just quick videos, and also she like writes out, the content in like short little snippets. Anyway, it's awesome. I love that. Um, over the past few months, I've started following this account called uh, Kate Small Things, I think, and she's so cute. She's like gives hair tips. I think she used to be a hairstylist, but she gives hair and makeup tips and does some, fashion stuff. And anyway, she's fun. I like her.
That's so fun. Yeah, we'll have to track those down. We'll link them in the show notes for anyone who wants to check them out. Shar, I'm going to put you on the spot too, in case you need to think. I'll
I
tell
think
you.
I have it.
You do? Okay,
I know,
go,
I'm like,
go, go,
"Ooh."
go. Who influences
I
you
just
right now?
immediately think of Mary Lawless Lee. She was Happily Gray for a while. She actually is in Nashville. She was Happily Gray. That's how she like started her blog. She was a nurse and then realized she really loved fashion, dove into influence. And I'm like, awesome. But I'm sorry, Mary Lawless Lee, if I'm getting this all wrong, but I think that's right.
Her life
I'm like,
story.
but she dropped Happily Gray as like her influence name, and that's now her business and her company. And she has home goods that are just awesome and clothes she's just cool.
Okay.
And she
we'll
integrates
find out.
like kind of like what y'all were saying of like she does a lot of like making sure that it's good for her family.
Yeah.
I see that in the way she posts and just it's authentic, and she's just cool.
Oh,
Has a
she's
cool
just
haircut all the
cool.
time. Yeah.
I need this in my life.
Yeah, what about you?
So mine is Jamie Beck. I have to look up her handle. I think it's like Jamie Beck Co. or something, but she is a photographer from the U.S. Who has relocated and is living in France, wearing flowy dresses and living this life. And she does all of these. She's extremely talented. So she does a lot of photography for brands like really natural skincare and, European style clothing and things like that. But she also does, I don't even know how to describe it because I'm not super talented in this space, but she does like very staged, beautiful photography. And then she also does sort of self-portraiture. I can't even explain it. You just have to go and check her out. It's just beautiful and inspiring, and I want to live her life.
And in
so.
France, yeah.
It's in France.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Done.
I'm in. Exactly. So, yes. So similar, we've got a couple more questions for you guys, and these can be kind of interchangeable. So to clarify, the first one is, what are you consuming? And by that we mean, maybe a podcast you're listening to, a show you're binging, a book you're reading, a magazine, something that you're consuming. And then the other is something that you're just so into right now, and that's typically maybe a thing, a product, a food. And I'm starting with Sharb because I know a thing that she is into right now, and I want to give her a platform to tell the world.
Yes, I got a little puppy on Monday.
Oh.
I'm like, I'll link her in the show notes. No, she really is a little angel. She's a little golden doodle. Picked her up Monday night, and already like second day was bell trained to go to the bathroom, and I'm just like, I mean, I can't imagine being a mom as you guys all are. I'm like, you're so proud. I'm so proud of her, little Ridley. That's her name, and I was looking at her today, and I was like, baby girl, I don't want you to grow up. I was just like. The best is my mom with it now. Like at first, she's like, okay, and then like I introduced her first night. The next night, she already called me. She's like, so what are you doing? Like, can I come over? And I was like,
Yes.
Yeah, but I love her. She's so great. But the other one I would say is because of that, I've been spending a lot more time at home this week, and I've been watching The Morning Show
Oh.
with
Ooh, is it
Jennifer
good?
Aniston and
Mm.
Reese Witherspoon. I mean, put those two in a show, and
Yeah.
and Steve Carell's in it too. So good. I kind of
Is
feel like
it?
I'm on it right now. Like we're the hosts.
But isn't it like a really mean element? Isn't it kind of
Yeah.
Devil Wears Prada? Are you saying?
No. Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm like that's what I'm trying to say here subtly.
Oh, okay.
No, it's actually very well done and obviously based off of true events back a while ago, but it's really good. So highly recommend it. Yeah.
So fun.
Those are mine. Yeah.
So fun.
I
You know,
know.
it's been a fun week. I'm kind of sleep deprived, but I'm good.
We're all laughing at Soapbox because we're like, well, I don't know if we can put Char on that meeting because she's a new mom. So, like, it's so true.
I just like
yes.
throw her on the Zoom call every time we're having it.
Okay, so Bethany, what are you consuming and what are you so into?
Okay. I'm consuming The Queen's Gambit.
Oh, I haven't yet.
I also
can't
bought a
wait.
chessboard.
Good. That's hilarious. My husband already loves chess. Not like that much, not
Right,
like in the
right,
show.
right.
And so he and my daughter play often, and she likes to play me because she knows she can beat me. 'Cause I don't know what I'm doing. I like barely understand the pieces. Anyway, it was really good.
It really
We
was. And, like,
loved it.
10 episodes.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wrap it up.
Mm.
I'm really into matching loungewear sets.
That is, I think, my favorite response ever.
It's very true with all my heart, and I just got one.
Yeah.
Oh, tell
same.
us.
Well, because I was waiting to find one at Walmart.
Oh.
And there is an adorable tie-dye one by
Cute.
Secret Treasures.
We'll link
And it just showed up
We
in my
will.
mailbox today.
Oh
I'm
my
so
word.
excited.
Oh my word.
Oh, shoot.
It's gonna be a big day. Get you out of
I
here
can
from
get
record-
into it.
You could
go get it.
You could be
Yeah.
into it by like 4:30,
Right.
If we're really aggressive.
I mean, that'd be winning
That'd
for
be
sure.
fantastic. Okay, Amanda, what are you consuming and what are you so into?
Well, I am consuming The Mandalorian. I'm a Star Wars person. I have kids and a husband that love it too, so it's fun for us. And anyway, I'm sad that it's over for now. But that's what I was consuming. And what I'm so into right now is I've meant to bring it so I could show it, and I didn't. It's upstairs. Is my Revlon dryer brush. It is awesome.
So great.
Yeah, this is not sponsored, okay? I promise.
I love it.
Yeah, it's just like this dryer it's like a hair dryer and a hair brush in one thing, and I
It's
love it.
amazing. It really is amazing.
That's so great.
I have never been able to do my own like blowout because I don't
terrible.
understand how you hold the roll brush and the dryer
No.
and get hair around it all at the same time. Now you don't have to.
Amazing. Amazing.
And you can
dream's
set
so
it
true.
down and get your hair ready, and it doesn't fly all over the place like the
Yeah.
hair dryer does when you set it down.
That's so great. That was a good share, you guys. I like it.
Yeah.
So
I do
I'm
that.
I'm laughing because normally I'm a voracious consumer of books, sometimes reading and sometimes listening. But we just recorded episodes, and I have already shared all of my books, so I hardly have anything to talk about in the consumption department. So I'm going to say something really nerdy. When I think about what's in my Spotify lineup right now, it's literally white noise because my
Incredible.
husband snores on and off, like not all the time, just kind of intermittently. So I got this
It's like a surprise.
I'm like, oh, thank you for that surprise tonight. I was not prepared for it. So I got this sort of it's a sleep mask, but it has little soft headphones, right? And I play white noise, and I love it. I'm getting like really good sleep scores on Fitbit because I'm such a nerd. I track all of this stuff. So white noise is apparently what I'm consuming, and it's leading to great sleep. So that's nice.
awesome.
And then the thing I guess that I'm so into right now is I got a rower for Christmas.
Ooh.
And I am obsessed. So this
She's
drink,
already crossed
I
the river.
am I think
Rowing.
I'm on the national crew team at
That is
this
so
point. I
fun.
row every morning, and at 43, I gotta do what I can, and it works so much of your body, and there is nothing else that I would do for 30 to 40 minutes in terms of a workout. There's zero chance.
That's awesome.
But I can get on the rower for 30 or
Nice.
40 minutes and I love it. So.
Good.
That's
That's so fun.
That's what you gotta do.
It is. I know.
Just find
it's-
what you
it's
love.
you gotta do.
Yeah, that's what you gotta
Exactly.
do.
Yeah, that was really the nerdiest response I think I've ever given. White noise and a rower.
No. Wellness.
Yes.
That's what that is.
Exactly. That's what that is. So tell us real quick, last question before we wrap up, unless Shar has any additions. But you mentioned briefly at the beginning the magazine, and I think this is so neat. So maybe tell listeners what's going on with that.
Yeah. So we have a quarterly magazine called Whoa Wait, and it's all about how you can live a lovely life for less. And it is in Walmart stores across the country. The next issue launches. Oh man, Amanda, I should know this date. Do you know it?
Okay.
Get it, girl.
Late February.
May.
I don't know
it
the
might be
exact
the
date off the top of my
23rd,
head, but late February.
Around the 23rd. I think it's like the last week in
Okay.
February, and it's the spring
Cool.
issue.
Love it.
The holiday issue still might be on stands,
Mhm.
but it's a quarterly, so it comes out. Oh, good. So it comes
It
out
is.
4 times a year,
Mhm.
and we are currently working on the summer issue. It's very
Oh.
difficult to keep them all straight.
I'm
I'm like,
sure.
which one is out? Which one is wrapped? Which one is?
That's so great. Is this your,
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying to
gotta get it.
remember. I remember when it launched. Is this
Yeah.
maybe your third or fourth? No. How many have you done?
This is our second full year.
Oh,
So
okay.
issue wise, we've done 5.
Okay.
5 have been on stands so far. The spring one will be our 6th.
Oh, that's so exciting. So, Amanda, what should we look for in the upcoming issue? What's your favorite component of the spring issue?
Oh, that's hard to choose. That's like choosing a favorite child. There's this I'm so excited about this issue. I feel like with each one we get more and more of our footing and like what we want it to be. And this one it's really great, you guys. We're so proud of it. We're talking about there's a whole section about things that we love and the apparel. I mean, Walmart is doing an amazing job with apparel, and so it's super fun for us to get in there and pick out these outfits and show how we would style them, and like head to toe Walmart. It's really fun. But yeah, there's apparel, there's home decor, and
Living your
there's
childhood
just all
dream,
sorts
and
of
I love
things.
it.
I know. I'm so
Yes.
grateful.
Well, Amanda and Bethany, thank you guys so much for joining us on Social Proof. It was so fun to talk with you. I know listeners will love it. So
Thank you for having
you.
us.
yeah,
so fun.
absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Shar.
We have water.
Cheers, Bethany.
There we go.